Welcome everyone to the most powerful masterclass for building, protecting, and restoring your immune system. How to become number one at the art of number two. This is a 7-day event that will change your life for the rest of your life. This masterclass will run from Tuesday, September the 29th until Sunday, October the 4th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with a live Q&A with me on Wednesday, October 7th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and docofdetoxshow.com. If you do not have a chance to watch this life-saving, life-changing masterclass, you will be able to join it for free for a limited time. Please go to the docofdetox.com. So go to docofdetox.com, then click at the top on Library, and then click on the A to Z Wellness Master Classes Guide. Once you click on there, you will have a choice of 2 master classes: Healing Your Muscles, Joints and Organs, Wolfe Non-Surgical Bodywork Masterclass, or How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two. Uncover and discover the practitioner from within and become the healer you seek. Enjoy my gift to you and pay it forward. God bless. Welcome to part 7, everyone. Retrain the brain. If you wish to change your health, you must change part of your belief system. Enjoy the show and consciously grow. No matter what shape your body is, love it now. Love it right now. Love every bit of yourself, every gram, every ounce, every pound. And love yourself well. And understand something, and when you do love yourself well long enough and strong enough, okay, your body will be an image of health, and it will be an image of self-love and self-care. It is not selfish to know or to understand what your needs need to be. So you have to be selfish enough to know what your needs are so that you can claim your God-given right. It is so important. And understand something. Yes, your large intestine is the second brain. And some people are saying it's the first brain because they're actually saying that your brain is just a computer, that the actual true brain is your large intestine and what lives in it. And that's the God's truth. And the mesentery, if you can see those yellow and black lines, that's like a lining, okay, that envelops your abdominal system, that area, and it stores your energy. So understand something. Take a look at your abdomen right now. What is the tone of it? What is the shape of it? Would you say it's storing energy, or would you say that it's leaking energy because you've got a toxic time bomb sitting in your pelvis, in your lower abdomen? You got to get this. The gut-brain connection is everything. You may not believe this, but I'm not telling you medical doctors. I'm telling you the system that's behind the medical system is trying to break the gut-brain connection. And if you don't know that the gut is the Holy Grail, then you can't even think straight anymore. Because if you're not protecting that, because understand something, take a look at the things you drink, the food you eat, the therapy they have. It's all targeting and coming after the large intestine and the Holy Grail, the bacteria. They're trying to go after your bacteria because if they get them, they got you. And if you turn those good bacteria into bad bacteria, you'll have bad moods. You'll have bad thoughts. You'll even have nightmares. That's right. Because everything boils down to a vibration. Everything boils down to a thought. And understand something, as you see right now. They say that your brain is your first brain and your gut is your second brain. I think it's probably the other way around, to be honest. But until everybody gets that idea and I start saying that, people are going to go, what are you, crazy? What do you think? You know better than most people? I'm not saying that. Just be logical. And understand something. It's more than a gut feeling. It means everything. You need to be able to feel your way through life. If somebody says something, does something, or you eat something, and it doesn't make you feel good, or somebody says something or you do something and it doesn't make you feel good, you might want to just observe and question that with love. And then start erasing and replacing. Because your actions are everything. The choices you make are everything. So understand. Process your emotions with self-love or bury them in self-hate in your gut, and you will create a time bomb. I think you all understand that one, don't you? Because understand something, and you got to get this. You got to understand the pinball effect of the brain and the bowel. It is real. It is real. Okay, we talked about it. Your brain is the computer. The soup bowl is the pelvis. And that's what you're doing, is you're mixing all this stuff together. And that's your second brain. And understand something, bad bacteria cause bad moods. Good bacteria cause good moods. So you know what? If you are creating darkness in your pelvis, you'll be putting darkness up your spine, into your spinal fluid, to your brain. And it'll get pretty damn dark. We are light energy beings. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. You think I'm kidding? You know what? We could have the biggest auditorium in the world. And we could have it totally dark. And a person can walk in with just one little birthday candle. And we'll be able to see where they are. We'll see the light. And it's all about the light. It's all about frequency. It's all about vibration. It's all about creating all this energy in your pelvis and sending up through the telephone pole called your spine. Because your spinal fluid holds more light and more information and more communication than anything else. That's spinal fluid. But you better make sure that it's coming in with the right thing. So remember something. Remember what I said. Thought form creates physical form. So take a look at my Braveheart emotional training. It's free for a limited time, guys. And it is. Okay? You may go there and then you might be paying something if you don't go quickly. And the reality is this. You're not going to pay a lot. Okay? Because I'm not going to charge a lot because you are already paying a lot. Okay? You are paying with your life right now. And I need to make sure that at least I give you a choice to take it back. But you're going to have to take massive personal action. And you're going to have to decide that you're good enough to have it all. So, like I said, thought form creates physical form. And understand something. There's not a person out there, okay, that doesn't have chronic abdominal pain. And every time you have pain, every time you have cramping, every time you have gas, every time you have bloating, that's all inflammation. And that's causing internal scar tissue problems. And there's not a person alive that I couldn't go in there and work on the abdominal area and improve their digestion, their bowel movements, their moods, improve their low back pain by just working on their abdomen, improve their hips by just working on their abdomen, improve their pelvis by just working on their abdomen. Okay? So understand, it's a scar tissue issue. And people have so much adhesion, so much scar tissue in there, it wraps around your intestines. And it slows things up. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay? You shouldn't have any digestive problems. You should have a lean, keen, healthy machine called your body, your vehicle. And if you want to take it all the way, and you want to go deep, whether you are a practitioner for the last 30 years, 40 years, or you want to become a practitioner, or you just want the best training that this planet has to offer in nutrition, in emotional, and in also, okay, nutrition, emotional, and energy medicine, then you want to check out my Whole Life Coach certification course. I'll tell you right now, it's the ultimate training for a spiritual warrior. It's an 8-day training. If you come in person, then you'll get the real meal deal. But understand this, my Whole Life Coach certification is also up online, and you can take it there. But if you are looking to bring on the thunder, then you want to be here in person with me. But understand, if you take the Whole Life Coach certification course online, I promise you that it will be the most powerful, emotional, nutritional, course that you've ever taken. And that's my guarantee. Let's get back to our little story. So the Human Microbiome Project, okay, all right? We have 50 trillion microbes in our body, 50 trillion microbes in our body. And there is a variety of these organisms, from yeast to bacteria to exotic organisms. And understand something, without these, you'd be dead. You would be dead. You need to get this. The bug is everything. There's good bugs and bad bugs. There's super bugs that are caused from antibiotics and from getting too much poisons in your body because they have to mutate, because they want to survive, just like the cockroach. But you're no cockroach, right? So you need to make better decisions and stop taking in so much poison. But understand something. You are. What did I say earlier? Let's go back to this. You are 50 trillion different microbes in the gut. That's what you've got. You've got 50 trillion microbes in your gut. You've got 500 to 1,000 different strains, and they're containing 3.3 million non-repeating genes. And listen to me, guys. It's not genetics, it's epigenetics. It happens all here. You don't get breast cancer, colon cancer. You don't get diseases from your parents. They're not passed down to you. What's passed down is their belief systems. And beliefs are everything. Did you ever notice that? Whatever you think about, the most you get. That's it. Okay, this whole genetic thing it's just take it out to the garbage, down to the street where it needs to go. Because reality is, do you think your creator said, guess what? That's just the roll of the dice, Darrell. Your father died of leukemia. You'll probably get that. Your mother died of lung and tongue cancer. You'll probably get that. And your parents died before they were 55. So you're out of here. No, I don't think so. I just turned 64. And does it look like I'm going anywhere? I'm staying right here with you, and we're going to teamwork this thing, because teamwork makes the dream work, and whatever you dream about the most becomes your reality. So never, ever, ever forget that. So what are we? Let's do it one more time. We are walking, talking globs of bacteria. We have 4.5 to 6 pounds of bacteria in our gut. Okay, and then we have that bacteria all on our skin. It's even bacteria walking across our eyelids, okay, that are cleaning things up and eating things. Okay, you want to go in there and you want to kill all the bacteria, you go right ahead. You know what? I'm telling you right now, this whole germicidal thing and 6-foot rule is really for a fool. Do your research, do your science, and I'm not calling you a fool. If you believe you need to do it, you better do it, because I'm telling you it's epigenetics. If you believe that something's going to take you down, well, it probably will, because it's epigenetics, and it's not genetics, because thoughts are everything, because thought form creates physical form, and I understand that. But I'll be who I want to be, and you be who you want to be, and you might want to take a look who you are, because maybe you're not a bee. Maybe you're not a being. Maybe you're a doing, just doing what everybody tells you to do. But never forget this. Death begins in the colon. Okay? This scientist, Ilya Metnikov, he got the Nobel Prize because he proved that death begins in the colon. Okay? So this is not just some hearsay. All right? So let's get this. A healthy person has 85% good bacteria and 15% bad bacteria. But guess what? 95% of the American population are reversed. We've already talked about that, but we're going to repeat, because repetition is the master of all learning. And like I said before, Louis Pasteur said, what? I have been wrong. The germ is nothing. The terrain is everything. But he wasn't wrong. He actually lied. He wasn't wrong. He actually lied. He just admitted to his lie before he died. Nobody wants to die with the lie, do they? Did you ever notice that? People that are in government or scientists that work for the government, after they retire or before they die, they want to get rid of the lie. Isn't that something? Yeah, because there's goodness in all of us. We just got programmed, that's all. So remember something. You can either turn your body into a cesspool, or you can be the river of life. And remember something, your digestive tract is the liver of life, or it can become a cesspool, and that cesspool is mainly your large intestine. So your large intestine is either what? A life giver or a life taker. All right? There are 80 to 120 autoimmune diseases that are affecting 92% of the population today. And understand something right now. This means that people are attacking themselves on an emotional and physical level. And autoimmune diseases are caused because of bad bacteria. And bad bacteria give off what's called endotoxin. And guess what? Most of these autoimmune diseases are bacterial contamination. Isn't that great? So you go ahead. You go and try to kill those bad bacteria and find out that you just killed your good ones. And then find out how resistant you are to these antibiotics that if you ever were in a life-threatening situation and needed them, they don't work for you. Wouldn't that be awful? But don't you worry. You're getting antibiotics every day. If you drink milk that's not organic, you're getting tons of antibiotics. If you're taking any animal products, okay, chicken, pork, meat, okay, even farm fresh fish, they all have antibiotics. So you're getting your dose of antibiotics continually, killing, okay, off your immune system by mutating your good bacteria. I think you're getting it now, aren't you? 60 million pounds of antibiotics are consumed every year in America. Half go into the animals living, so they go into you too. Okay, and the other half go into us as prescription drugs. Okay, and the CDC says at least 30% of these antibiotics are causing problems. But the reality is we know it's much more than that, okay? I just would like to say buyer beware. Look who you are listening to. And we already know the CDC holds patents on viruses. Why are they holding patents on viruses? And then why are they holding patents on vaccinations? I thought that they were a public system. The CDC is privately owned, okay? What about the League of Nations? What about the United Nations? What about the World Health Organization? This is all just a big facade. Pull back one curtain, put out another curtain, another curtain, another curtain, another curtain, another curtain. Are you dizzy yet? Embrace nature. Embrace total self-love, total self-care. Okay? Look to the farmer, not big pharma. That's what we need to do. We need to do this. You need to think about this. Americans consume 65 to 75% of all prescription drugs. Death to America, and we'll have death to the world. America is the strongest nation in the world. Now they're the sickest. And guess what? They want to cripple America because they want to, you got to cripple the people. You cripple the people in America, you take their country. You break them down physically, emotionally, and then financially, and then you bring in the New World Order. Oh yeah, but I'm just a conspiracy theorist and I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, we'll let that go then. All right. 88% of Americans have some metabolic disorder. And now we know that United States is ranked #1 sickest nation in the world. That's not me, guys. That's not me. And you don't have to stay there, but you got to take your power back. Okay? And understand something. Haha. Did you know there's only I think it's only 3 countries that actually are allowed to actually advertise drugs on TV? And Canada, United States, okay? And in Canada, there's a lot of laws that are against that. But in the United States, you can get 5 to 6 commercials for just one TV show. Isn't that something? And it's the same drug, same commercial. So they're making you into a robot. And understand something, and you need to get this. Drugs awaken and unleash drill bit predators. Now, what am I talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, so a tree falls in nature. A tree dies in nature. What happens? Well, termites and fungus, like this picture, come along and they eat up that tree. And they turn it back into soil so that everything else can benefit. Now, Here's the problem. You take antibiotics, and did you know that everything has a vibration? So did you know that meat has a vibration of 0? Did you know that a donut has a vibration of 0 too? That's why it's got a hole in the middle, right? Okay, so did you know that antibiotics have a vibration below 0? Uh-oh. What? Yes, all drugs have a vibration below 0, but antibiotics are like a form of chemotherapy, and they vibrate real low below 0. And when you take antibiotics, you turn on what I'd like to call the death vibe. So everything is frequency. So you just turned on a frequency in the body called the death vibe, because antibiotics they vibrate below 0, which means that basically you've turned on something saying that you're ready to die, or you're dying, or you're dead. And what would that be? Well, we've got yeast in the body, which helps us, and we need it. But that yeast then turns into fungus, and then it just proliferates. Okay? So let me go back. Take a look at this slide again. So what happens when you take antibiotics? Well, the yeast inside of you turns into fungus. And what fungus is a drill bit predator. And it starts drilling holes through your intestines. Oh, isn't that cool? So now, what's going to happen? Well, we know that we're going to get trapped protein particles coming through, get toxins coming through, and it's not really great. It's not really great, is it, to have a screen door in a submarine, because this is the same as leaky gut. So the reality is, I already told you that you only have one layer thick of cells in your intestines, and they're called tight junctions, and they get pulled apart. And when they get pulled apart due to the fungus, it drills holes, then the fungus gets into your bloodstream, and then it goes throughout your whole body. Now, what does this fungus do? Well, this fungus is supposed to go in and start what? Oh, it's supposed to start taking you apart. Then you'll start seeing people getting brown spots on their hands, on their face, on their body, okay? Because now they're becoming an oldie moldy, okay? All right, this has all got to do with fungus, but we're going to get into that fungus thing in a second. So now we've got all these holes being drilled through your large intestine. Fungus gets into you, okay? Because you are a screen door in a submarine as far as your large intestine goes. This is the end of part 7, retraining your brain, but only the beginning of the new you. We will see you in part 8, fungus feeding time. Welcome to part 8, everyone. Fungus feeding time. Who's really in charge? Enjoy the show and get in the know. So now that fungus gets into your bloodstream. So now what they say is, yes, sir, we've taken a look at your blood and you've got systemic candidiasis. Oh my God, no. Well, guess what? Right away you want to kill the fungus. But should you be killing the fungus or healing the large intestine? Should you be thinking about what's in your mind and going in your mouth? Should you think about what's coming out the other end? Should you be healing that intestine? Yes. Now we can go after the fungus, but guess what? Don't go after the symptom, go after the cause. And that's the deal. No matter where we go in life, we keep on getting distracted. It just seems to be a maze, doesn't it? And we just, with all the great minds and all the great scientists, and we just can't figure this thing out, right? The doctor says to you, this is all we can do. Go home and get yourself prepared for the worst, right? Or don't worry, we'll keep an eye on that for you. What are you kidding me? What are you kidding me? It's your body. Take responsibility. Take massive action, okay? So, would you track poo through your house? Well, what do you think happens when these drill bit predators are drilling holes through your large intestine? You're not just taking fungus in, you're taking microscopic poo into your bloodstream. So until you fix that screen door and make it into a steel door, and that it only brings in nutrition and micronutrients and not waste products, then you're going to waste away, because that fungus is going to go in and drill you apart, okay? Now, the fungus within us is on us. What do you think acne is? Okay? No, they're just going through puberty. Oh, really? Really? First of all, just know something and get this. The skin is the mirror of your large intestine. It tells you how healthy you are at any point in time. And that's the God's truth. And understand something. You don't have to be young, and because you're young, you're cursed with acne. Acne is sugar, refined carbs, processed foods, antibiotics. But then you'll take antibiotics to go in and try to kill the bad bacteria that supposedly is causing your acne. Or you'll be putting these toxic creams on your face, and eventually your face will be all scarred up. But we can get rid of those scars. Yeah, we can. Your body just wants to heal. That's the big deal. And I need you to get this today. But we don't need to do this, okay? We don't need to get into this problem. But I know you didn't know, but now you do know. Now you do have a choice. Sinus problems. Well, that's a fungus problem, because understand something. Your nose is like a cave, yes or no? And when you take things in, like what? How about dairy? Dairy is one of the best things to create inflammation in the sinuses. And when you get inflammation, they swell, and that's the pressure. Oh, I have a pressure headache. I have a sinus problem. I can remember when I used to do dairy, and I am a blood type A, and I don't digest dairy well, but nobody can digest. When I say to people, well, are you on dairy? No, just do cheese. People don't know that cheese is milk. They do if you say it, but they can't relate it. And meanwhile, when you take one slice of cheese, you got like 5 glasses of milk. And understand what's in that. I'll be going through that in a little bit. But the reality is sugar, okay? Processed sugars, not nature's fruit, nature's foods. I'm not talking about that. So processed sugars, flours, dairy, okay? Rancid oils, okay? And oils that aren't healthy for you. These are all things that can cause sinus problems because they create irritation and inflammation. But fungus is the best one. Fungus will cause more problems in your sinuses than anywhere else. Oh, what about that? Where else will they do it? Well, what about earaches, guys? Isn't this a cave? In this cave, if you were small enough, you could walk from this cave and come out this cave. Or you could go in this cave and walk out this cave. Or you can go in this cave and come out this cave. So they're all kind of connected, okay? So if you know they're all connected, then you know that this can spread. So understand something, earaches, right from earaches to losing your hearing slowly, okay, can be a fungal problem. Crystallization, calcification, scar tissue formation, caused from inflammation from the fungal problem in the first place. Like just even little kids. Oh, we got to get tubes put in our little kids' ears. Well, I hardly ever hear of anything like that in my life unless they're on dairy products. Okay, understand. I'm going to say this. I'm going to show you something in a minute, but let's just get this perfectly clear. Cow's milk is 20 times larger than mother's milk. Okay, well, first of all, then we know that we're not supposed to be doing it. The reason why we drink cow's milk is because we took a look around the planet. And we said, where's the biggest udders? Oh, wow, it's a cow. We'll drink that. We can make more money off of that. It's all about that. And understand something. Organic cow's milk is a lot better, but understand something. Everybody will have some form of inflammation from it. And understand something. You're not getting a viable calcium from animal products, dairy. You're getting it from your whole plant-based foods. End of story. Science is all behind it. Okay? So you make the decision. So understand something. And the other thing too, guys, you didn't know this, I'll let you know, that within days after you stop doing breast milk, you lose the enzyme to digest milk. So we all get in trouble after that. There you go. And that is the truth. That's the other half of the story. Okay, so the white coating, signs of oral, what? Yeast infection, but it's overproduction of candida. All right? And then everybody says, well, what are the cracks in there? Well, guess what? Inflammation causes dehydration. Okay? And cracking up, well, did you ever see a river and then it dries up? Well, it's all cracks in the riverbed and in the mud. And that's because you have so much inflammation in your body. But that white coating, you can get rid of that. Because understand something, and you need to get this, body talk. Body talk. You have been taught that your body doesn't talk. It just screams at you, and you're going to tell it to shut the hell up with drugs. That's what you've been taught. You've been taught that pain is the enemy, and we need to kill pain. Well, when you kill pain, you kill yourself. And understand something, pain is a GPS, and when you're off track, emotionally or physically, you're going to be experiencing pain. What you should do is connect to your breath and say, okay, what am I taking in? What am I thinking about that's creating this disruption? What am I eating? What am I drinking that's creating this disruption? And understand something. We're like robots. We keep repeating the same thing over and over again. So guess what? Would you like to be insanely happy or insanely miserable? So decide what your prominent beliefs are going to be in your head, because they're either going to create life or they'll make you dead. And they will. You'll feel dead. You'll feel like you're the walking dead because you're going to burn yourself out. All right. So let's move on. So fungal. Hey, fungus is something, isn't it? Well, what do you think eczema is? It's a fungal problem. But remember something, where did the root cause come from? The large intestine. Then it went into the bloodstream. Then it went throughout the body. Then it's systemic candidiasis. So now it's coming out through the skin because your cup has overflown. Hey, come on. If I had drip, 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 I don't care how big the pail is, eventually it's going to spill over. And you know when it's spilling over, when the skin you're in, okay, begins to not feel or look good. Because that is the mirror of the large intestine. And understand something, eczema is just junior to psoriasis. Because psoriasis is eczema, but it's eczema gotten worse because you're not doing the right therapy. Do the wrong treatment, you're going to get mistreated. Try to use chemicals to try to kill this, good luck with that. So what do you do? Want to push the chemicals back into your body? Want to push the poisons back into your body? Want to tell your body to shut the hell up? You'll see how that works. You'll see how that works. You're not going to win with this thing. It may go down with the drugs. I guarantee it. If you need relief, use drugs. But understand something, it's what you do with every day. Have you created the perfect day? Because when you create the perfect life, you'll have the perfect health. Oh yeah, someday you will pass from this planet, but you will pass in your sleep, and you will not pass with the last 10, 15 years screaming in pain because you didn't know you needed to have a good bowel movement. You didn't know that you were supposed to heal your large intestine. You didn't know that your large intestine became a screen door like a submarine, and that's why your skin is the shape it's in. And that's psoriasis. Psoriasis is just a thicker scab, more irritation, okay? So let's don't stop there. Hey, what about this? What do you think jock itch is, okay? What do you think jock itch is? That's a fungal problem. For a man, what do you think vaginitis is? Okay, same thing. What do you think bladder infections are? That's a fungal problem too. And it may not be a fungal problem, but it's definitely a poop problem. Yes, it is, because I'll be talking about that in a bit. But the reality is remember something, everything you absorb into your blood has to be taken care of by something. And what if those little poo particles had to go through your kidneys and then they went into your bladder, which is a little sac, and then those poo particles would settle to the bottom. And what if those poo particles were infection that inflamed, and then that caused your bladder to get inflamed and want to contract down on itself? Yeah, I think you're getting it. So vaginitis, you can turn that around. I have women that have had vaginitis. I had a lady that called me up. She was 92 years old. How do you like that? And do you know what she said? And please don't get me wrong about this, and I don't want to gross anybody else, but she says, I can't stand it anymore, Dr. Wolfe. You got to help me. It smells like fish down there all the time. And I said, don't worry about it. So then I told her what to do, and guess what? She called me back 24 hours later, and she said, now it smells like roses. And guess what? That lady is still with us today. And she's still working with us today. And guess what? That was 3 years ago. And she still smells like roses. Understand something. When you take massive personal action, you can have anything you want. But the only reason why you're not going to have it is because you decided that, guess what? Suffering is the way, but it's not. It doesn't have to be. And what about this? Fungal problems. Well, we're not just talking about fungal problems on the feet, but it's also under the toenails. Like this guy, if we could see his toenails, they are black under there. This is a bad case of fungal infection. But understand something, if we flipped his feet around, you would see that it would look greeny black under his toes. Okay, he didn't get it from work boots. Oh, well, my feet sweat. Well, of course they do. Your feet sweat all the time because they're trying to detoxify because they're so poisoned. Okay, just like the night sweats that a woman will have when she goes into menopause. Because if she didn't have night sweats, I already told you she'd have a fart attack or a heart attack or something like that, because you got to get rid of the toxins and you got to burn them off. So your feet are going to sweat to try to get rid of the toxins. And yes, if the boots were damp, the fungus is going to grow like crazy. But this fungus did not come from boots. This came from a broken down bowel. and from doing antibiotics and eating foods with antibiotics in them and taking other prescription drugs that were going in and annihilating the good bacteria and changing the yeast into fungus. I think you've got it by now, don't you? So aerobic is your yeast and your good bacteria. Anaerobic is the fungus and the bad bacteria, right? Oh, and by the way, guys, cancer is a fungus. Now, I'm not telling you that cancer is caused because of fungus, but understand something. When you have cancer, it's a parasite party. You don't just have fungus. You got bad bacteria, you got viruses, you got worms, you got it all. They all come because your immune system is blowing out. But understand something. The real cause of cancer is deprivation of oxygen. It's because of too much scar tissue. Okay, too much inflammation, too much scar tissue formation, too much calcification. You've lost calcium and you've calcified that whole area. If you block off any area and you decrease the oxygen supply by 35% for even 48 hours, depending on the condition, you can start cellular mutation. That's not me. That's Dr. Otto Warburg, who got the Nobel Prize for discovering this. I didn't give it to him. So understand. Those are the facts. And understand something, everyone. We're addicted to the addiction. Because whether you want to believe this or not, we come home at night. We're just craving the carbs, the sugar, the alcohol. Because those little fungus feeders are going, feed me, feed me. And at nighttime, they'll do it the worst. They'll bring out the tacos, bring out the popcorn, bring out the chips, bring out the ice cream. Because they're saying, hey, we need energy because we want to breed more babies, right? You think you made the decision to have that glass of wine. You think that you made that decision to have that beer or that spaghetti. You think that you made that decision to have those tacos. No. All of a sudden, triggered in your mind was, hey, honey, I'm feeling kind of snacky. No, you're not. They are down below. That's what's going on. So it's fungal feeding time, guys. And understand something. And you need to get this. When we can't digest our emotions, we'll get acid indigestion. When we eat processed foods high in flour, high in sugar, or dairy, or high in chemicals, right? The new and improved, right? We are going to get heartburn. And when we get heartburn and we do heartburn drugs, okay, we are going to actually, what? Cause stomach cancer. We can cause jaw necrosis because of the acidity of the acids being spewed up like a volcano, and our digestion of our foods is going to go way low. And guess what happens when you do heartburn drugs and you got acid indigestion all the time? Guess what? Your stomach is the guard dog for parasites, for bad bacteria, for worms. Because you're supposed to have strong enough acid to digest the foods in the stomach, but also to kill those bugs. That's the guard dog. And when you don't, and when you get weakened in there and the hydrochloric acid becomes weaker, you don't have any teeth. So then those things go through and into your small intestine, and that's when all hell breaks loose. So understand something. If you can't digest an emotion, then you haven't got the tools to understand how to love yourself well yet. Please think about it. That's all I want to say, because everything physical was emotional first. And understand this, everybody. Our kids are getting slaughtered. The kids menu. Who dreamt that up? Carbonated drinks, refined sugar, artificial foods, processed foods. You know what that stands for? Crap. That's what we feed our kids. Crap. I already told you on YouTube there was an advertisement, Oreos cereal, and I guarantee they wouldn't make it if you didn't eat it. But if you stopped eating it, they wouldn't make it. And I understand something. Parents are adulterated. Oh my God, honey, look at how cheap this meal is. Do you know why? Do you know why that they have all of these refined carbs in there and sugar and flour? Because they're getting your kids ready to become addicts. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. I'm telling you the God's truth. Understand something. The future alcoholics and druggies are now going through the drive-through of McDonald's. Did you get that? So you're creating little druggies and alcoholics. Take a look what's in the food. And don't you dare tell me that those chemicals, okay, aren't drugs. Because they are. They are drugs. Okay? Don't tell me those colors artificial colors. Don't tell me those artificial flavors. Don't tell me those artificial ingredients. And don't tell me that all those refined carbs, flour and sugar and dairy isn't making these guys little alcoholics later. Because you're setting them up to get their sugar fix, their flour fix, their chemical fix. Where are they going to get it later? Okay? They're little kids now. But later, they're going to want big boy, big girl toys, big girl addictions, big boy addictions. That's how it works. Doesn't it work like that? So, and it doesn't stop there. If you kids are really good, you're going to get a treat. Honey, want a treat? And then we poison them. Wow. And that's because we were poisoned first. And we trusted food corporations. We trusted our government to be the watchdog. Well, let me tell you something. They're in a corner store right now. And corner stores have more cancer-causing chemicals than anywhere else. And they're on every corner. So tell me there's not an evil plot. Okay. Oh, Darrell, you're just being a drama queen. Yeah, when your kid's tummy and they're crying and they've got fever. Okay. And when you take your kids to the doctor and they go, well, you've got to vaccinate. You better vaccinate them. And understand something. Find me kids that haven't been vaccinated. Okay. And I'll find kids that do not have asthma and allergies. And I'll find children that are super healthy children. Find them. And then why in the heck would we ever put something into a child that has mercury when we know mercury's a poison? And why would we put all these other things? I don't even want to say them. And they've never been studied properly. The only thing that's never been studied is vaccinations. Right, okay. And you're going to do that to your children. What is wrong with us? What's wrong with you? Okay, so avoid the crap. Calorie-rich and processed foods, guys. And understand something. Here are the top foods and food ingredients that promote inflammation, constipation, infection. Do you get this? You can go through this. You can stop the video if you want. But that's the reality. Take a look at these foods. Are they coming into your house? Then you're the terrorist. Understand this, too. Here it is. Here, what's in a glass of milk? 135 million pus cells, blood and feces, up to 20 painkillers, antibiotics, growth hormones, 20 different painkillers, antibiotics and growth hormones, bacteria and pathogens, IGF, and one bovine growth hormone, acidic protein, toxic milk protein, and it's known as casein, that we can't break down, that is inflammatory to us. And whether you believe this or not, dairy is one of the most inflammatory, cancer-causing products on the planet. What do you think it's doing to your bowel? Go eat a piece of cheese. Go ahead, have some pizza tonight, have a grilled cheese, or just eat a piece of cheese, and tell me how your bowel's moving in the morning, and tell me that you just didn't put a cork up there. So, you can go through this. Here's the 23 restaurants that have the most antibiotics in their meats. So check that out. And remember something, everyone. It's not what comes out on an emotional level, on a physical level. It's what stays in that can be your downfall on a physical and emotional level. And what did I say? Okay, welcome to the parasite party. Fungus, worms, bad bacteria, viruses. If you want to just create a manure pile down in your lower abdomen, okay, because you know you are. You'll know by the pain train that you're living on right now. You'll know by how you suffer. You'll know by how stinky your bowel movements are. You know, you go to the bathroom and somebody walks in the bathroom. Don't anybody come in here. Holy crap. That's right. Holy crap. So understand something, everyone. Take a look at this slide. Explode, implode, or you better dump that toxic load. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. Check out the Daily Cleansing Tea, Black Gold, Tummy Love. Those three things, they're going to save your butt. And they're going to save a lot more because your butt is just the first part of that domino effect. The dominoes fall and they keep falling. This is the end of part 8, fungus feeding time. We'll see you in part 9, the domino effect of a nation of constipation.